я прошу вас, защищайте свою свободу, чтобы люди, находящиеся под гнетом Советской России, могли бы в один прекрасный день разделить эту свободу с вами. Меня зовут Анна Wiseman.
On! Come on. Go on! Go on! Right, into your ear defenders, get into your slings and carry on. Not bad, number two.
Sir?
Better than a smoky old office, isn't it?
You've missed the point, Neil. We don't often get an opportunity like this. In the light of recent events in Iran and Afghanistan, C has actually been asked by the Pentagon for an SIS assessment. He wants inputs on the options open to the Kremlin now, the areas we should be giving priority to in the next few years.
Well, that's exactly what I've given him.
No, you haven't. There's nothing here about the military significance of Yugoslavia, the Yemen, the Horn of Africa, Afghanistan itself. No strategic appraisal whatsoever.
I disagree. I've drawn attention in that paper to a strategic aspect which I believe is grossly neglected.
Human rights. The dissident movement. Do you really believe that by making sympathetic noises about Charter 77, we'll get the Soviets to abandon their expansionist policies? Because I don't.
I'm not talking about sympathetic noises. I'm talking about a deliberate, calculated strategy of support for the underground movements inside the USSR and its satellites. I'm talking about moral, financial, and military support for movements like the Ukrainian activists, the Polish KPN, the Free Trade Union Association, the Georgian nationalists. The only effective way to destroy the power of the USSR is from the inside, and the Soviets know it. Well, they're not frightened of our military ability at all. It's their own rotten system that really frightens them.
This paper's way off the beam, Neil. You were asked for your comments on intelligence strategy for the 80s, and I don't think this is what C was after at all. I'll pass it on, of course, if you really want me to.
Thank you, sir.
Balm for your soul?
What?
Coffee.
Yes.
There was a telephone message for you. Dixon's Electrical something. Your amplifier's ready for collection.
When was that?
About 10 minutes ago.
I'll be out for the rest of the afternoon.
You've got a conference with C at 5 to brief him on the Washington tour.
I may be late.
Right.
No tail?
No tail.
What's gone wrong?
Nothing. I'm on my way.
When?
Not certain. Tuesday or Saturday.
From Brussels?
Yes. Well, she's going to fall off.
Why are you here?
I've been to see the specialist.
Confirmed?
Yes.
I'm sorry. How long?
Under a year.
If you're quite certain you want to go ahead.
Why?
Well, I shall deal with that when I get there. Yes. I'll try to finish on time.
I would suggest we go ahead, sir. I have the input for the ops and can speak for him if necessary.
Very well. Gentlemen, Miss Phillips, as you know, I fly to Washington tomorrow, and I thought it might be useful to have a brief discussion of the agenda before I leave. Now, you're all well aware of the shift in the east-west balance that has taken, and indeed is still taking place, and of the necessity to take a very careful look at our strategy for the 80s. Now, I believe that we can use our special relationship with the CIA to make our voice heard in the White House and to influence, perhaps radically, our choice of strategic postures in the critical years that lie ahead.
And then you're still quite sure you want to go through with it?
Quite sure.
And you're happy with the arrangements?
Yes.
I'll let you have the meal ticket as soon as I have clearance.
Right.
Now, is there anything else?
Just the tape.
I'll see that it's properly distributed.
Thank you.
Now, are there any other questions?
No.
Well, I won't wish you good luck. Just success.
Ah, we missed you. Nobody knew where you were. Yes, you'll have to be quick, though.
Well, that's it, Matthew. I shall be back a week Monday, all being well.
I'll hold the forts up.
Mr. Burnside, sir.
Thank you, Peter.
I apologize for being late, sir. I was called away unexpectedly.
Well, I have an appointment in Downing Street in 10 minutes, and I intend to be punctual.
Sir, we have the opportunity to plant a sleeper. I would like your approval to go ahead.
Well, I can't give approval without further details, and I just don't have the time. Now, you'll have to take this.
Right, sir?
Oh, and Matthew.
Sir.
Now, obviously, we won't want to go ahead unless there's a definite aim and a reasonable chance of success.
Understood, sir.
Now, I really must leave.
I hope you have a successful trip, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks, Jeff. I'll let you have it back as soon as I can.
Sir, it would involve the apparent defection of a senior civilian in NATO.
Oh, yes, let's talk about it in the morning, shall we? Jeff, can I have a word?
By a lust for power and world supremacy, which has blurred your perception of what is good, what is just, and what ultimately can bring you to true greatness. Let me tell you this, you who control the vast military machine of the Soviet Union. No matter how powerful you are, no matter what terrible weapons of mass destruction your obedient scientists devise, no matter how many millions of tormented souls you keep in the captivity of your gulag, you will never stamp out the will for freedom, the will to rise up and fight against oppression. You yourselves know this. It is your guilty secret, a secret that will one day crush you, even as you crush those who draw attention to it.
It'll be my first really decent weekend since...
I didn't think any of your weekends were decent.
Enough of that. No, I just thought we could wander away from the smoke, see what we can find.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
What do you think?
Can I have a word with you? Have you got the time?
Sorry.
Thank you.
Do you remember her?
Anna Wiseman? Yeah. Yeah, she was that very earnest lady in intelligence a few years ago, eh?
That's right.
Was she sacked or something?
Yeah, she fell for the deputy chief.
Peel's predecessor, yeah. Mrs. Deputy Chief didn't like it very much.
You got that impression?
Well, I tried to hush it up, didn't I? What's it all about?
Did it ever occur to you that her dismissal might be a setup?
Oh, was it?
Answer the question.
I don't think so, no. As far as I remember, she just left under a cloud.
Good.
Was it a setup?
Yes.
Why?
Well, she just came to see me one day. It must have been, 6 years ago when I was Sandbagger 1. Told me about herself. She said that she was a war orphan, found wandering about in a trance when they opened up Belsen in '44. Was half Jewish. Yes? All right. Came over here, went to boarding school by kind permission of wealthy foster parents. Changed her name from Weissman to Wiseman. Say yes to this, will you?
Yes.
She asked me how she could become a sleeper. I didn't take it seriously at first. I told her she'd have to get out of here for a start, preferably by getting herself the sack.
So you suggested that...
Have an affair with the boss. And she did. She was gone within 3 weeks, disappeared without trace into the wastelands of MOD, or so everybody was led to believe.
And she come back to haunt you now?
Quite the opposite. In 6 years, she's got herself into a top job at NATO headquarters in Brussels. And what's more, she's managed to convince a certain Fyodor Solodovnikov that she's in love with him and is prepared to jump.
How do you know all this, then?
Well, we kept in touch. And when I became DOPS, I had her prepared.
What, are you going to plant her?
She's virtually doing that herself.
This, Fyodor, what's his name?
Solodovnikov.
Yeah, what does he do?
He was cultural secretary at the embassy in Brussels. Due to return to Mother Russia at the end of a long and apparently unimpressive career.
Anxious to score a few points, no doubt. So what you're doing is you're staging a defection.
Yeah.
And if you get her across, what can she do?
Have you got any suggestions?
What do you mean? You set this whole thing up and you haven't decided what you want to do?
No, I don't mean that. She knows exactly what she wants to do, and I approve.
What's the problem?
Time. If she's going at all, she's got to go soon.
Yeah. What does she want to do?
I'm not telling you. The fewer people who know about it, the better. But I am in the market for a plausible excuse to sell upstairs.
So you're telling Peel that she's going to do one thing. You're briefing her to do something quite different.
Well, no option, have I? Well, if I tell him the full story, he's bound to veto the operation. I'm not prepared to risk that.
So the question is, what might be a reasonable mission for her? What does she do at NATO, then?
Well, she's been at the military committee for the last year.
What about her background before that?
An impressive list of qualifications and posts. Yes, she took her first in modern languages at Oxford. She's fluent in Russian, Polish, German. Worked at the United Nations, BBC World Service, Amnesty International. The author of a book on the impact of Solzhenitsyn. Various articles on human rights.
Is that her speciality?
Yes, and support for dissidents.
Well, she'll get a bit of a grilling if she reaches Moscow.
Well, she's expecting that.
If she gets through it, then what? They put them to work, don't they? In her case, don't know. Translation work, maybe. Lubyanka typing pool.
She's too big for that. She'll be wasted.
Well, they might get her on teaching at the KGB finishing school.
Huh?
Gagzina. Yeah, that would sound like a worthwhile target. You could sell that to Peel. Before you go, these weekends, I know they're not uppermost in your mind, but can we have them confirmed? I'd like this one and Mike would like next. His sister's going to marry a Pongo in Dover.
All right.
Thanks.
Oh, by the way, I saw the report in your training session yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Loved every minute.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning,
Neil.
sir.
You're coming to see me?
Yes, sir.
This mole of yours?
That's right, sir. I want to ask your advice. I thought we go over the background first and then perhaps discuss her target.
Her target? You mean it's a woman?
Yes, sir. Anna Wiseman.
Anna Wiseman.
Well, don't you remember she was dismissed for having an affair with your predecessor?
What are you doing? Planning your summer holidays?
Getting genned up on Albania.
Albania? Why Albania?
It begins with A.
Oh, yes.
Working my way through Europe.
Oh, your weekend's approved. I've seen the boss.
Oh, good. Thanks. I'll say this for Edward Tyler. He was a damned efficient director of intelligence, even if he was sending half of it to the KGB.
Gaxina? How would she get herself in there?
She's just the sort of material they're crying out for. Brought up, educated in England, well versed in NATO procedures, even knows how this place works.
I take it you'd be wanting her to get information out. How would she do that?
Difficult, certainly. But there is another aspect. We know that it's not one big happy family in Gaxina. Someone of Anna Wiseman's caliber might be able to influence a few minds in the right direction.
Subordinate.
She'd be well placed for it, wouldn't she?
Teaching the trainees about the English way of life?
It's ironic, really, that it could be our most effective weapon.
Yes, even allowing that, she would be what, the 5th NATO civilian to go in the last 18 months? And we do have to weigh the effect on prestige against the covert advantage. And if they were to break her, reveal her as a British agent, we'd have front-page pictures of Anna Wiseman making a full confession from the dock.
But on the other hand, if we don't go ahead with this, we're going to have to explain to C why we passed up one of the best opportunities of planting a sleeper in the last 20 years.
Yes, but Neil, does she have a definite aim and a reasonable chance of success?
Gaxina's the definite aim. And if anyone has a reasonable chance of success, it's her.
All right. We'll go ahead.
Yes, sir. I'll brief Sandbagger one to go to Brussels.
Right. Code name for the operation is Early Hyacinth.
Oh, Willie. Guess who's got clearance? You're going to Brussels tomorrow. Your weekend's looking shaky.
It's all right. I'm worried about something else.
Mm-hmm.
Anna Wiseman worked for D-Int. The last D-Int, Edward Tyler.
Well, what if she did?
Well, you must have discussed it with him, the fact that she wanted to be a sleeper.
All right, so I did.
Yeah, at a time when Tyler was passing information across to Moscow. As fast as he could lay hands on it. So her cover's blown already.
She knows that. I just wanted to see if it occurred to you, because if it didn't, it was unlikely to occur to anyone else in SIS.
Well, are you going to send her? I mean, she doesn't stand a chance of surviving interrogation.
That's what she wants.
Merci. Au revoir.
Анна! Как я рад тебя видеть. Ты много работала?
Не очень. Но с другой стороны, не очень продуктивно.
Вот что. Останемся сегодня дома.
Да.
Я приготовлю специальное блюдо.
Does she really need a meal ticket?
Well, if she doesn't take something with her, our friends in Moscow will start digging straight away.
So what are you suggesting?
She's been working on a mine warfare operations plan recently. It's due for approval by the military committee. I suggest we give her clearance to take that.
What's its classification?
NATO secret.
Oh. Have you read it?
No, but she said it would be no great loss. It's one of those, if we had some ham, we could have ham and eggs. If we had eggs, arguments.
Yes, there's no need to elaborate. Does she have to take a NATO document?
Well, she's in a NATO post. She'd hardly be able to take national secrets, would she?
No, that's not my point. What I'm saying is, if she takes a NATO document, we ought to have their permission first.
Well, that's out of the question.
Why?
Can you see anybody in NATO who'd have the guts to stick his neck out? Because I can't.
Are you suggesting we go ahead and give her permission to lift a NATO secret document without clearing it first ourselves?
Well, I don't think we have any alternatives, sir.
We're on very thin ice here, Neil. If we're not very careful, we could place HMG in a highly embarrassing situation.
Well, they don't need to know any more than they read in the papers.
Now, that is where you're wrong. The last sea may have been happy to hoodwink ministers. The present one is determined to have the very minimum of concealment, and I think he's right.
There is no doubt in my mind what we should be doing, sir. Anna Wiseman must take a credible meal ticket with her to Moscow.
Has Kane made contact with her yet?
No, but I do expect her to make contact with him tomorrow.
So you want a quick decision from me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll think about it overnight.
PhD Ops. Oh, hello, Willie. I'm afraid you're a bit early. He's not in it. Oh, hang on. Here he is now. Sandbagger 1, sir. Do you want to take it in your
I'll
office?
take it. William, anything in the post?
Yes, got a letter this morning. Now, we're off to see the wizard, but we're getting anxious what to wear.
You and me both, but I intend to get an answer this morning. Look, I'll ring you back in 1 hour. Presumably you're taking the first available train.
Affirmative.
Okay, I'll ring you back.
All right.
Deputy Chief.
Burnside, sir. Could I come
Ah, yes, Neil. I've given thought to what we were discussing last night. Would you come up, please?
On my way, sir.
Thank you.
I'll be with Peel.
Right, sir.
Come. Ah, sit down, Neil.
Thank you, sir.
I've decided to cancel early Hyacinth.
Well, that may not be possible.
Why?
She's on her way.
What?
I've just had word from Sandbagger 1.
I thought she was going by plane.
She is. Flight SU-232 to Moscow, 12:45 Saturday.
In that case, you have over 48 hours to stop her. Clear?
Quite clear. You're telling me to back out of a well-planned operation that's got every chance of success.
I agreed to look into the problem of giving her a meal ticket, and I have done so. I am not prepared to sanction the theft of a NATO document, and that's final. There are good reasons for this decision, Neil. I discussed it with Dean last night, and Paul agrees with me. Well, for one thing, her age is against her. It'd take her 20 years to get into a position in which she'd be of any real use, by which time she'd be too old. And if she gets caught, she's completely untrained to withstand interrogation.
She has been fully and carefully briefed. If we can get her into Gaxina, she
Exactly. If you can get her into
Well, she
Gaxina.
does have other options.
What else can she do?
Wherever they put her to work, she would still be well placed to give covert support to the dissident movement.
I don't consider that a valid option. SIS has no brief to campaign for human rights. If she gets caught, if they blow her cover, we'll have an open trial, and they'll have damaging evidence of British intelligence at work. They'll wave it under the noses of the non-aligned nations. They'll use it to recruit even more agents for the KGB, as you well know.
She believes she could still use such a situation to the advantage of the West. Given a show trial, she could speak out against violations of human rights, redress the balance of their smear campaign.
What smear campaign?
Well, against Dr. Sakharov and his family, against Glucksman, against Semenyov, against Malvalyanda.
I'm not interested in that old hobby horse. The fact remains that her defection would deal a severe blow to NATO morale and would be very bad for the prestige of our government. I have to balance that against a very slim chance of achieving anything worthwhile.
In other words, you're not prepared to take the risk.
No, I'm not. Instruct Sandbagger 1 to contact and abort.
She has worked and planned to set this situation up for the past 6 years. Sacrificed a brilliant career because she believes this is the way she can be of most use. And now you want me to send a Sandbagger to say, sorry, we've changed our minds.
Yes?
And just because you're unwilling to give her the backing she needs, all that dedication and courage is then going to be wasted.
I appreciate that you feel strongly about this, Neil. But in the absence of C, it is my decision. And I'm not prepared to let this operation proceed.
Very well. I shall recall Kane. But I would like to pass on your directive myself to her personally.
In Belgium.
Yes, sir. Pre-arranged meeting place.
I'm quite determined. I've nothing else left. If you can't help me, I shall go on my own, with or without assistance. If my life is to have any meaning at all, I must do this.
Morning, Miss Straker.
Good morning, sir.
You made contact?
Yes, sir.
So early hyacinth is cancelled.
That's correct, sir.
Not a decision I regret, Neil. We were on very shaky ground. Sandbagger one back yet?
Yes, sir. Came back last night.
Good. Perhaps we can look forward to a quiet weekend.
Have you read this? The Olympic Games. Just as much a propaganda exercise for the West as they are for Soviet Russia. I prefer to see competition between individuals, not nations.
Athletes Anonymous. Difficult to organise.
Yes, well, I didn't mean that exactly.
I think you should have gone in for politics.
Well, I considered it once, but even as an MP, there's very little scope for taking positive action. You end up as lobby fodder, really, don't you?
Do you? I don't know.
What will you do when you finish with this lot?
Come back at 1. Yes. With the boss.
Sit down, will you? I saw Anna Wiseman yesterday. I'm going ahead with the operation unofficially.
What, behind Peel's back? Very risky. If you fail, there'll be a big queue of yes-men bidding for your chair.
But if I succeed, and I think I will, the Soviets will be forced to look at the question of human rights in an entirely new light.
Human rights. Anna Wiseman's speciality. Well, if there's so much to be gained, why can't you just show your hand to Peel? I mean, he's not a complete fool.
He's got a blind spot. He says SIS has no brief for the support of dissidents.
Well, have we?
I think it's the one area which, with Anna Wiseman's help, we can really exploit.
Ah, I see. That's what it's all about.
Yes, it is, Willie. My original idea was for her to lift a classified document, but Peel's got cold feet.
So she's going over there with nothing to offer them, knowing that her cover's blown already. Why?
She wants to be identified publicly with the dissident movement. She wants a trial, imprisonment. She even wants psychiatric treatment.
I think she needs it.
She's got cancer, Willie. She's only got a year to live.
Ah. Yeah, but surely she didn't know she was suffering from cancer 6 years ago.
It's a recent development. Her original intention was simply to be a sleeper.
Well, if she's going to be an effective martyr, she's going to need some publicity.
Exactly.
What are you going to do?
To succeed, she must really hit the news when she defects, within the East and the West. And we achieve that by making her defection a sensation.
It's difficult to organise.
Mike is still going to that wedding tomorrow, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good, we can use that. I'm going to send him to Brussels instead of you because he's a better shot. Mike, would you come up, please?
Wait, well, no, I don't understand this. What, are you going to knock her over?
Not quite.
Well, a near miss?
Yes.
No, I don't like this. You're going too far now.
You're not getting cold feet as well,
I'm
are you?
worried about Mike. I mean, what if it goes wrong? What if he kills or he gets caught?
We deny all knowledge, just as we would if the job were official.
Oh, look, he's going to be charged with attempted murder. I'm going to be an accessory.
Oh, Mike.
Boss wants me.
Yes?
Sandbagger 2 is here.
Well, tell him to wait, will you? Willie, I believe this operation is worth the risks involved. Now, if you don't want to cooperate, you can clear out now. I'll brief Mike myself. Up to you.
You better be right.
Most of the groundwork is done already. The instructions are in there. He doesn't need to know the full story. Mike, come in, will you, please?
Morning, sir.
Morning. What time's your sister's wedding tomorrow?
3 o'clock, sir.
You're not the best man or anything.
Oh, no, I'm an usher, sir.
Well, you may be a bit late. We've a job for you to do in Brussels.
Right, sir.
Most of the planning will have to be done in the hutch, not the ops room. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, grab a chair. It's quite straightforward. You're to go to an address in Brussels this afternoon. Turn the place over. Clear out, and then phone the police and report a break-in.
Am I looking for anything at this
No,
address?
make it look as though someone's done a thorough job all the same. After you've done that, go to the Gare du Nord and collect a case from the left luggage. It will contain a rifle, telescopic sights, and 6 rounds of ammunition. You'll need to check the weapon out. Do that on some farmland at a grid reference which it will give you. Try and get that done this afternoon or first thing tomorrow morning.
Now, do we know the range?
Work it out before he goes. Now, your target is a woman. She's due to be collected in an Opal saloon at 1200 hours tomorrow from the Hotel Rogier in the Rue de Brabant. You will be positioned in an empty room on the 4th floor opposite the hotel with a clear line of sight. Fire twice. And wait until she's about to enter the car before firing the first time. Your aim is the upper arm or shoulder. Now, the second shot is to go into the car harmlessly as it drives off.
And if I miss?
If you miss, use the second shot as for the first.
You want me to maim her?
Mike, I want you to carry out instructions. No more, no less.
Is the weapon silenced?
Yes.
What about the getaway?
Motorbike at the rear of a building, then usual switch to a car. Any more questions?
Yes, am I allowed to know who she is?
What about getting rid of the weapon?
Leave it in the room. It'll be collected later. Don't you better get on with it. Let me see me before you go.
Yes, sir.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
Just get to your sister's wedding. You can say you were unavoidably delayed, but get there, will you?
Yes, sir.
Right, let's get on with it then. These are the addresses you'll need. Your luggage ticket, your money, your keys. That's one for the flat, one for your room opposite the hotel. The car, the motorbike, the weapon case, all right? Now, I've got the street map here somewhere.
I'm being set up again, aren't I?
What?
I said I'm being set up again. Muggins doing the dirty work all over again.
I've got a lot of time, Mike, if you want to argue the toss.
I'm not arguing the toss. I'd just like to be trusted with a bit more information, that's all.
I don't know it all myself.
So what is it? A poison bullet?
No, I guarantee it's not that.
Then what are we playing at? Deliberately missing? I think I'd prefer a straight knockover to this.
I'll tell you why you were chosen instead of me. Because you're the better shot. Does it make you feel any happier?
Done?
Yes, 2 copies.
Personally by yourself?
I did exactly what you told me to do. I couldn't help hearing what was on it.
No, you didn't. You have no recollection even of the existence of these tapes. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Right, that's about it then, okay?
Plan's okay. There's no problem with that.
Come on, what's the trouble?
It's unofficial, isn't it?
Not your problem.
Oh, no. What if I get picked up?
Makes no difference. The answer's the same, whether the job's been authorized by C or not. You get caught, hard luck, you're on your own. You fit?
Yes.
All right, well, what about the getaway?
Out through the rear of the building, motorbike to the Gardenard car park, pick up the car, drive direct to Calais.
Calais?
He's taking the hovercraft to Dover.
That's where the service is. If I'm not held up, I should be there by about 4 o'clock.
So at least you'll be in time for the reception. Happy?
I can't say I like this sort of job, sir.
I appreciate that. This operation is known only to the three of us. As far as SIS is concerned, you're going to your sister's wedding.
Yes, sir.
Burnside?
Appeal here. I've reached the bottom of my in tray, so I thought I'd catch an early train. Nothing I ought to know about before I go home, I suppose.
Nothing at all, sir.
A C is due back tomorrow, as you know, so he'll be in on Monday. All right?
No problem, sir.
Right. In that case, I'll wish you a very good weekend.
So? Have a good weekend, mate.
Thank you, sir.
Hallo?
Piotr, это она. Моя квартира у меня был обыск. Мне страшно, слушай. Я переночую в маленьком пансионе на Руде Брабант. Хотел Роже.
Да.
Это рядом с Годуно. Ты заедешь со мной? Ты сможешь заехать со мной завтра?
Да, поезжай туда сразу. А не звони никому.
Но мне скажет.
Слушай.
Ну, слушай.
И жди нас.
Да?
Да. В 12 часов.
Я жду.
Ça, c'était moi. Merci.
It's obvious what the Russians are up to. The dissent amongst their own people over the invasion of Afghanistan provides the excuse they need to mount a smear campaign against the whole of the dissident movement. And they'll exploit it to the full.
At the same time, trying to claim that the slightest murmur about their treatment of dissidents is interference in their domestic affairs.
If Anna Wiseman can get over there and speak out, it'll be the first time anybody from the West will have had the guts to stand up and be completely identified with the movement.
Trouble is, behind the Iron Curtain, will the word ever get round?
Oh, it'll get round, you'll be surprised. Just as it did when Sakharov was into Gorky. And remember, it was that made so many of the Communist Party members in the West tear up their cards. With luck, Anna Wiseman will provide a rallying point for every dissident in Eastern Europe and turn the undercurrent of protest against the Kremlin into a flood.
Yeah, but even if she achieves it, does it get us any further? Does she think that dissidents can ever be anything more than a side issue?
Well, she thinks it's a central issue.
What do you think?
I think it's an important weapon.
What, deserted you, has she? Was it the weekend?
What are you doing here?
But I dropped by to be on hand. Oh, Mike should just be getting into position by now.
Yes, he should.
Anna! C'est rien, allez-vous-en!
Should all be happening now. If it's happening at all.
So why did you cancel?
I wasn't happy that she had a reasonable chance of success, sir. The likelihood of her actually getting into Gaxina seemed slight, and I felt we could ill afford another defection at this time.
And you met with her and passed on the cancellation?
Yes, sir.
Did she give any indication she might disregard it?
No, but she was obviously disappointed. She was very determined, may have taken matters into her own hands.
I'm beginning to wonder if she was a double, trying to milk us of a few documents.
There's no CIA involvement?
Not to my knowledge, sir.
Do we have anything further on the shooting?
Nothing at all, sir.
Now, there's no question of it being one of our officers.
We wouldn't have missed her. What's worrying me is the possibility that they may break her. If they do, there'll be a show trial, and the fact that she once worked for SIS will be plastered all over the front page of his Vestia.
Then we must issue a formal denial to the Foreign Office. See to that, Matthew, will you?
Yes, sir.
Well, the government isn't going to be very popular with the rest of NATO over this.
Not very much we can do about that, I'm afraid, sir.
Well, thank you, Burnside.
Thank you, sir.
Neil? What's on this?
Well, she gave it to me when I first contacted her about the operation. It's a personal statement. She said it could, if we wanted to, be reproduced in large numbers and sent out to dissident groups in Eastern Europe, or perhaps broadcast through the World Service. It's an impressive document. Could be of value to us if they should break her.
She seemed to be waiting for it, as if she knew it was about to happen.
Your imagination.
Well, they've got her in Moscow. They know all about her.
Yes, and they'll squeeze every last ounce of propaganda value out of her.
I can't see that anything of this nature is going to alter the price of fish.
When you hear this recording, you may already know my name, for I shall have been brought to trial for political offences against the Soviet Union. This was my intention, and I have done what I have done in order that my name will be linked with the many thousands of people who have been tried and imprisoned for holding views which disagree with those of the Kremlin and the KGB. I speak first to you, the leaders and administrators of the Soviet Union. You are not the first group of people who have sought world supremacy. Others have gone before you, and each has been finally destroyed by the very same disregard for the will of the people which you condone and encourage in the USSR today. Your thirst for power, your world ambitions, your willingness to trample upon the rights of the individual are the fatal flaws in the foundations of your totalitarian state. Lend an ear to the people who have the courage to stand in line day after day in the Moscow waiting room of the Central Committee, each with his declaration of grievance. Listen to these people, the people whose revolution against Tsarist oppression you pretend to perpetuate, but who now cry out against the new oppression of your system that will admit no criticism against itself. Now, to the people who labor under the Soviet yoke, I say this: listen to that voice which speaks inside the mind. Whisper to your children from their earliest years that every human being should have the right to those freedoms which the state forbids. Finally, to the Western world, I say this: your freedom is a priceless gift. You undervalue it or abuse it at your peril. If you lose it, you will yourselves become prisoners of a regime that allows no criticism of itself, no alternative to its oppressive policies, no expression of individuality. I ask you, therefore, to defend your freedom, so that all people now dominated by Soviet Russia may one day share it with you. My name is